Welcome back, everybody, to the Rival StarCraft League main event 2016. We are in the round of 16 Group A. We are getting our next series set up shortly. It will be between Beastie Cutie and Pox, a TVP. I am Koshkii, and with me is Hjax. How you doing, Hjax?
Pretty good. We get to watch a series I have a bit more knowledge about because this next series is a TVP and I am a Protoss player.
Yep, PvT is pretty fun right now. Speaking as a Protoss player.
And yeah, so something to note, both of these players are European players and they actually, because of that, are able to play on the European server. So both players will not have any latency problems whatsoever. Whereas normally if Beastie Cutie was playing, I don't know, some NA player, he would have to deal with the lag.
Yeah, so both players on their home server probably make for pretty smooth games between the two. A lot of times you do see players that have a little bit of lag because we have players coming from, the other side of the world, basically, in EU.
Yeah, and having played on Europe, I have to say it's hard. Like the fact that these players can play cross server and do well is incredibly impressive. Because when
Yeah.
I go on Europe, I'm like, I can't build pylons.
But here we go, spawning in the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard. We have got our light blue Protoss. It is Pox.
And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have Beastie Cutie, our red Terran. So far, no proxies.
So far.
It makes me happy. I don't know. It's always weird when you get into a series and like the first thing is like, "Hey, I'm gonna proxy rack you." It's like, eh.
It's brave though. Proxy Rex. It can work though. I mean, it's obviously not what Beastie Cutie's going for at this point. His barracks is in his main. But I've seen it done on Orbital Shipyard.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a decent map for proxies. There's a lot of places to hide stuff, but both players so far seem to be going for reasonable things.
Yet both players playing pretty normal at this point. Wouldn't surprise me to see Pox go for an expansion now. He is sending a probe down. Looks like that's indeed what it will be. Very standard Protoss opener.
Yep. The good old one gate expo, and from our Terran player, he has a gas, he has a barracks, probably is going to make a Reaper and a command center very soon. There's the Reaper,
Yep.
there's the orbital.
Looks like we are going to see that SCV go right on down to build the command center. Very standard openings for both players. Playing a bit safe to start things out here. One interesting note about Orbital Shipyard is there is a lot of surface area going into the main base. Would not surprise me if Pox maybe chose Blink Stalkers as the tech of choice. Maybe taking advantage of that, but we'll see what fits more along his playstyle here.
Yeah, and on the same note, this map is great for Terran drops because there's so much space, especially like you can go towards the natural from this weird angle or towards the main from another weird angle. Like, the Protoss has to kind of keep on his toes to make sure he doesn't take damage from that.
Yeah, for sure. And it wouldn't surprise me also to see Beastie Cutie really do some good drops. We've seen some multi-prong drops from him already. This Reaper has now arrived. The Adept, though, almost out, will be able to force it back. And it is actually going to be a quicker Twilight here from Pox, and he is also getting a Stalker out. I wonder if it is indeed Blink Stalker. Could still be Dark Templar as well. However, normally if you see Dark Templar, you would usually see a Robo with it for drops. Still, you never know.
Yeah, DT drops have been really common recently, but it looks like we're not going to see that. We're instead going to see Blink with Chrono on it from Pox.
Yeah, and as mentioned before, this is a pretty solid Blink map. This Reaper, though, it is going to see that Twilight. I think the probe's really trying to deny that vision, but that Reaper did indeed catch wind of that. So I think now Beastie Cutie is going to realize that Blink Stalkers are probably going to be the threat.
Yep, and it looks like Beastie's doing, or well, playing pretty safe. He's building a Widow Mine, which I imagine he'll burrow some somewhere to pick off any warp prisms or anything that might come in, and he might do a mine drop as a follow-up. And the mine right now is walk into the natural, and it's going to burrow in the mineral line.
Yeah, we do now have our Robo coming out for Pox. That Warp Prism will provide reinforcements, and an OBS could actually provide high ground vision as well.
Yep, I'm not suspecting Pox is going to try to put on too much pressure. He just dropped his third base, so this blink is probably going to be a I want to pick off drops and not take damage sort of blink.
Yeah, and I wonder, do you think it was going to be aggressive, but then BCQD scouted it, so Pox maybe switched up his plans?
I don't know. That's a hard call to make because, like, some people just like to do the defensive game, and I don't know a whole lot about Pox, so it's hard for me to say personally.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a preference thing if he was planning on doing that, because it's definitely a common build right now to just open up with a safe blink into a third.
Yeah, and it like you said, it really helps to fight against drops, and it also kind of helps against Liberators as well. And we actually do have a Liberator coming out from Beastie Cutie, so Blink does seem to be a good choice here from Pox.
Yep, and we have a mine drop moving into the main right now. Let's see if Pox is paying attention. He does overcharge, and...
Ooh, looks like 2 probes will get taken out. That's not too bad, though, and this medevac under fire does get taken out as well, so that actually worked out pretty well for Pox.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely trade 2 probes for a medevac and 2 mines, especially the medevac. He does have a reactored starport, but losing those expensive starport units is definitely going to slow him down a little bit.
A Liberator is starting to move into the natural, but Pox does have an observer set up to catch this. So he knows this is on the way. However, there's not much of a reaction done at the moment for it. The Liberator's starting to get into a pretty nice little area. The Blink Stalkers are in the middle of the map trading against the Marines. Oh, but the Mothership Core knows it is there. The Mothership Core ready for an overcharge.
Yeah, right now, a lot of Protosses will see this pylon behind the minerals in the natural. That deals with the most common place where a Liberator will siege up. So when the Liberator is forced to siege up somewhere else, he just picks it off easily with 3 Stalkers. And that is a clean defense. But there's Marines in the third right now, and it looks like they'll be able to do damage.
Yeah, they're going to pick off a lot of probes here. You've got 6 probes lost so far. Stalkers trying to warp in. Overcharge will go off. The probes able to run back and mine. Not before a couple more get picked off, though. 8 probes in total lost. That was a nice little drop there for Beastie Cutie. He did lose his Liberator, but, he did get 8 probe kills there at the third.
Yeah. So Beastie Cutie, his third just finished. So even though he killed 8 probes, which is really nice, he's still down 10, which means with the assistance of mules, he's only even.
Yeah, that is a good point. Looks like we do have a drop. It is going to be probably Adept. After all, he did just finish the Adept upgrade. Pox did.
Yep, the drop is going to try to move into the natural here, but he does have the observer in place to maybe see it. The Mothership Core has enough energy for 1 overcharge right now, so he might be able to overcharge. He'll be able to overcharge 1 pylon to try to deal with this, and also have Warpins to help assist. But right now, Pox is he's really out of position. His Stalkers are across the map, and there's a drop moving into his natural and his third.
Yeah, the drop at his third starting to pick off those forges. And the natural also really under fire here. Lost a few probes there. The Stalkers, though, continuing to move forward into the third. Pox will lose his third base as well, trying to do what he can to hold up this attack while he hits Beastie Cutie's third.
So yeah, we are in a really weird base tradey kind of situation right now, where both of their armies kind of avoided each other on the map. And Beastie Cutie's losing his third, Pox already lost his, but Beastie Cutie has Liberators, and those are pretty good defensively.
Yeah, Liberators can be used quite well when you want to push your opponent away. However, these are Blink Stalkers. Nice little use of the Widow Mine here, but there is no high ground vision for Pox, so he can't just simply blink up here.
And Beastie Cutie did not lose his third command center, so he will have that third mule, and it looks like he's going to push away this attack.
One of the Liberators does go down, but Beastie Cutie continues to move forward and take out these Stalkers. Looks like Pox will lose the majority of them.
Oof. So there's a Widow Mine right now burrowed in Pox's third. He can't build the Nexus until he gets an Observer over there. That's really painful.
Yeah, that is not fun to deal with. We've got an Immortal still being produced out of this Robo. It looks like... Do we have an OBS? Yes, we do have an OBS there for Pox. He is able to clean that up, but that delayed things quite a bit, and I believe made him lose another probe.
Yeah, he has, like, his army, it isn't terrible. He has 3 Immortals. Oh, there's a Widow Mine outside of the third base that just didn't shoot any Stalkers. So yeah, Pox is going to move out again and say, well, I need to try to do damage to you, because this third is so late that if he just leaves Beastie Cutie alone right now, he will be so far behind. So he's kind of sharking around on the map, looking for things to pick off. And if he's paying attention, he could get this medevac. Yes, he does get it.
This Liberator, though, these Liberators going to take out those Adepts. Those Adepts, you know, they needed to kind of be dropped there, but they might shade around and try to find an area to do some damage in.
Yep, Beastie Cutie has a nice bio army. He started to break down the rocks, but he didn't kill them all the way. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure what his reasoning is for that. Oof, the medevacs! Watch out, Beastie Cutie.
Another medevac does fall. Pox doing a pretty good job with picking off any stray medevac he can find.
Yeah, so Beastie Cutie's down to only 3 medevacs, and he's still producing Liberators, so his medevac count kind of low. Fortunately for him, Pox doesn't really have anything in the way of AoE, so he doesn't need too much healing, and he loses another 2 medevacs. Ouch.
We do have a Colossus about to finish here for Pox, but the Thermal Lance is still a little bit of ways.
Yeah, one Colossus, since they nerfed it in Legacy, it does okay damage.
But it's not what you need here, like in this situation right now. It is not going to be enough AoE, and oh no, it barely gets even one shot off before it gets picked off.
Pox is shading forward here to try to pick off as many units as he can. The Widow Mines get decent connections, and the Liberators are actually shelling at these Immortals. There's no anti-air left in Pox GG's.
GG, those Liberators did so much damage in the end, and Pox, you know, he had some great pickoffs, but after losing his third, he was really suffering.
Yep, so the next map was Ruins. Okay, so we will be seeing a PvT on Ruins of Ceres, and Ruins, it's another really good droppy map, and Beastie Cutie used drops very well in that last game, and I'm expecting to see more of that in this next game.
Yeah, and drops can be pretty strong on Ruins of Ceres. There's a lot of Fog of War in the main base that Terran can take advantage of. Pox will have to, I mean, I feel weird saying Pox has to do this. He's a much better player than me. But, you know, he'll make sure to put pylons down in these areas, you know, to really provide that vision.
Yeah, and one thing about Ruins that's a little bit nice, at least for the Protoss, is it actually does have Xel'Naga watchtowers. I feel like, as of late, those have kind of been phased out from most of the maps in the map pool, and when they are on the maps, they're in really kind of useless or inconvenient places. I believe there's only 2 maps in the pool right now that have them, which is Prion and Ruins.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can think of those 2. I don't know about... Oh, Central Protocol does, right? In the middle?
Yes?
I never play Central Protocol, so I have to like phrase that as a question.
No
I
one
vetoed
plays on that
map
map
after the first week.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like in older map pools, literally every map, like, the map had to have a tower. Like, there was no maps that didn't have a tower. And now seems like it's rarer. But this map does have towers in really nice places, and if you control them, you can see a lot of the drops that might be headed towards your base.
Yeah, they've got them like right in drop areas, kind of. It's weird. It looks like they're positioned just perfectly for drops.
I'm gonna guess that was intentional because imagine how horrible it would be to defend drops on this map if you couldn't have the towers to help you out. Like you would need like 6 or 7 obs to cover all the different directions drops could come from.
Yeah.